Welcome to another edition of Morning Date, when we get to meet with amazing figures from all walks of life. Well, today is no exception, as I have Paul Jeong in the studio with me. Paul is an online trendsetter, as well as a fashion photographer, and is now a highly sought-after professional at major global fashion events, like Fashion Week. Well, welcome to the studio, Paul.
Thank you for having me, guys. Hi, my name is Paul.
Yeah, well, you have shot to this very high level in a relatively short time, but you are a much sought after, celebrated photographer, as I understand it. From Shanghai and Seoul to New York and London, you've been capturing the world of fashion with your camera. And you told me earlier on that you only get to spend about 3 or 4 months in Korea. The rest of the year, you're out of the country working. Tell us about your work.
So primarily I do a type of photography called street style.
Street style.
Right. So we're documenting people during fashion weeks, and I mean there's different variations and forms of street style, I think, but I think the angle I'm going for and I've been going for is maybe documenting the current times. Like the vibe of the time, how fashion is during our age.
Is it sort of a behind the scenes look at the fashion shows?
There is, and I also do that as well.
Okay.
When I started, I did runway as well, but I think right now I'm just doing street style and backstage.
Okay, street style and backstage. And you're working around the clock, as I understand it, as well. You're very busy, so I don't know how you made the time to be here today. Thank you for that. But, I mean, these names, these terminologies, for me are quite new. Could you explain a few more of the terms that we might want to know before we get into your work? Or should we just delve right into it?
I mean, I think, BTS.
BTS?
Yeah, not the K-pop group.
Behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, backstage, I think that's...
Do you use that term a lot, though, BTS?
I think BTS can be a little bit different. So like a good friend of mine, he's a videographer. So he does BTS for campaigns and fashion weeks. So when they're putting on makeup or even like behind almost. So he makes videos of such, capturing such moments. But backstage or first looks commonly refers to it as like when the models have the clothes on. And,
First looks.
Exactly.
굉장히 많은 용어가 지금 나오고 있습니다. 스트리트 스타일이라고 하면은 이제 전반적인 그런 패션 쇼, 패션 위크 촬영을 얘기를 하는 것 같고요. 그다음에 BTS라는 용어가 옛날부터 쓰였다는 놀라운 사실. Behind the stage라고 해서 behind the scene인가요? Behind the stage인가요?
Behind the scene.
Behind the scene. 그래서 무대 뒤에서 일어나는 일들을 촬영하는 것도 그런 용어를 쓴다고 지금 알려주셨습니다. Well, fashion weeks around the world have different characteristics. I think I'm really no expert on this subject, but for me, I feel like London, you see a lot of coats and jackets, and Paris, bags. Is that how it is?
I think you're quite on point there. I think the major four are New York, London, Milan, and Paris. Paris is kind of the end, but starting with New York, I think New York typically has a lot of big jackets and color, has a lot of character, and after that you jump over to London, which, as you've mentioned, they also have a lot of coats and jackets, but they have like a classy, a bit of class to it. And then Milan has a bit of emphasis on tailoring, also color, and then you end with Paris, but Paris is kind of the cherry on the top. Usually it has the powerhouses in terms of brands, Chanel, Dior, Valentino, and they sponsor a lot of influencers, and they give a lot of free stuff out.
Right. 그러니까 패션 윅들이 이렇게 전 세계적으로 돌아가면서 맨 마지막에 금상첨화처럼 이제 cherry on the top라고 표현을 하셨는데 영어권 문화에서는 케이크 위에 체리 이게 이제 금상첨화 우리가 꽃이라고 표현하는 그건데요. 그게 파리스 패션 위크군요. 네, 거기서는 많은 그 재력가들이 나타나서 어디에 투자할 것인가 이런 걸 결정하는 자리이기도 하고 그 다음에는 전시되는 제품이라든지 뭐 작품이라든지 이런 걸로 봤을 때는 파리스는 어떤가요? Do you see certain types of clothing or is it just all combined into one over in Paris?
I think it's a large collective, but specifically I think I see a lot of personal touches. A lot of people are tired at the end because photographers, editors, buyers, influencers are like, this is the fourth week.
Mm.
We're going, day after day. Weekends.
How many weeks altogether?
The main 4, it should be 4 weeks.
4 weeks, okay.
Right.
Well, quite recently we had Seoul Fashion Week.
That's right.
3월 19일에서 24일까지 6일간 서울에서도 패션 위크가 있었는데요. 전 세계적으로 이제 제일 큰 4개는 4주 동안에 이어진다고 말씀을 해주셨고, 그러면 그 4주 내내 같이 다니시는 건가요? Do you go with the whole entourage, the whole 4 weeks?
That's right. You usually have so to speak, family of photographers.
Family of photographers. Okay. How many people, belong to this family?
I mean, it just entirely depends. I think cliques or groups of photographers usually travel together, or end up meeting at the next city.
Ah, okay.
Just because I think.
Do you travel with anyone, or do you work?
Oh, I usually work
alone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get to meet other people in your field, and you maybe group up, team up, and do that. I'm just wondering though. This might sound like a silly question. You've watched the movie Devil Wears Prada, haven't you? Is that anything like the real stuff, the real deal?
I think it has some similarities. I think that's more on the press side. So it's more on the editor side, with the actors and what they're portraying. But I think, from what I understand, there could be some similarities that go across.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tense atmosphere, and it's not easy.
분위기는 이제 그 Devil Wears Prada랑 비슷할 수 있지만, 그 영화에서는 사실 사진 작가라든지 영상 촬영을 하는 그런 측면은 다루지 않기 때문에, 또 그런 얘기는 오늘 홀정 씨가 해주고 계시는 겁니다. 근데 홀정 씨가 지금 굉장히 유명한 패션 포토그래퍼가 됐는데, 제가 알기로는 급부상을 하셨어요. It's not been that long, right?
No, it's been a year.
A year. Oh my goodness. 1년 사이에 이렇게 스타 포토그래퍼가 된 배경에 대해서 정말 궁금하거든요. How did that happen? Take us back.
Well, I think this is entirely luck, I think, to be honest, and timing. But originally, I graduated from the U.S. And majored in finance and got a job in Korea as a project manager at an American company.
Okay.
And I was working for that company for a few years, and a few of my Swiss and German friends came from Europe to visit, and incidentally enough, it was Seoul Fashion Week at the time. So they asked me to come to show them around, and that's when I kind of started messing around. To be honest, I wasn't gonna take it seriously.
Okay.
But from that, I got to shoot an editorial with a German magazine.
Had you learned some photography beforehand?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I told them when I shot that too. I have no experience.
But you must have some artistic blood in you.
I don't know. I'm figuring out that maybe I do, but again, I kind of took it on a whim and kind of played along with it. And then last year in April, I ended up quitting my job, and then just right off the job, I was able to do some projects with some magazines, which kind of catapulted me into this industry.
와우. 이렇게 해서 또 탤런트가 발굴이 되는 게 아닌가 싶습니다. 우연한 기회에 원래 다른 회사를 다니고 있었지만 유럽 친구들이 와서 패션 위크인데 우리 가서 촬영도 좀 하고 프로젝트가 하나 있다고 하는데 같이 하지 않을래? 해서 해보지 뭐 했던 게 시작이 돼서 지금까지 오셨군요.
Right.
And during that 1 year, tell us about the things you've been doing, where you've been going, things like that.
I think out of all the street style photographers, there's only, you can count on one hand, that travels upwards of 7 to 8 months.
In Korea?
Worldwide.
Oh, wow.
So mostly people go to those major 4 biannually. So there's fall, winter, or autumn, winter, and then there's spring, summer.
Yep.
So people go to those 4 on each side of the year. But for me, I go to Copenhagen, Oslo, Stockholm, Tbilisi, Almaty, Moscow, Shanghai. I'm trying to go to Kiev. I go to Florence for Pity. I go to a lot of the developing ones as well.
Right. And all of these by invitation, right?
That's the funny story is, I think when I first started, I got a job to go cover in Tbilisi, and on a whim, I didn't have that much money back then. I'm not rich right now, but I got invited as press when I went to another fashion week on a whim. So I did a lot of things on a whim,
Okay.
a lot of risk.
on a whim 표현을 계속 많이 써주고 계시는데요. 그냥 아무 계획도 없이 했다 이런 뜻입니다.
I saw an opportunity and I knew that if I put myself in that position, I had to be productive. So once I got to, for example, Almaty, Kazakhstan, by chance I met the owner or the founder of the Fashion Week outside smoking, and he asked me where I was, what I was doing, where I was from, and after that he actually put me as international VIP guest.
Wow.
So I mean, from then on it kind of developed into a relationship, but I mean, the big four, they usually don't invite photographers, from what I understand. Some of the other ones, like for example Stockholm, Tbilisi, cities like that do have a presence, but are not of the big four, so to speak.
네, 근데 계속해서 뭐 우연히 굉장히 운이 좋았다 그렇게 해가지고 일을 연달아서 하게 됐다고 말씀을 해주시지만 굉장히 겸손하신 것 같고요. 준비되지 않으면은 이런 우연한 기회가 왔을 때 잡지 못하죠. 그래서 아마 평소에 알게 모르게 다른 분야의 일을 하고 계셨었지만 항상 좀 준비되신 분이 아니었나 하는 생각이 듭니다. I'm sure you were born ready for this. I mean, it's not every day that these opportunities knock on your door, and then to be able to grasp it and do what you've done with it, it's just incredible, I think.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we talk more about your personal life a little bit more? And you did mention earlier on that this wasn't your career initially.
No.
You were a finance guy.
Right.
Doing what?
I mean, I majored originally in finance, but before that, I wanted to become a dentist. So I was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was taking up coursework to prepare for dental school. And then before that, I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to become a pilot.
Wow, you were a boy with many dreams.
Many dreams.
파일럿도 되고 싶었고 치과 의사도 되고 싶었고 실제로 치과 의사 준비는 학부 때 좀 했었지만 대학원에 가서는 Did you go to grad school? Did you say? Undergrad. 이제 대학교 때 좀 준비를 하다가 아니야 경제 쪽이 나랑 맞는 것 같아. 그래서 또 경제 공부를 하시고 정말 다재다능하신 것 같아요. You have so many talents. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't know.
I think you're a genius, really. But let's take a song break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about your life. This is Mama's Gun, Take a Picture. We're back with Morning Date, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Paul Jeong, renowned fashion photographer. Now, Paul, we were talking a little bit about your personal background before the song break, but let's go right back. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Tell us about that, your childhood.
So I was born in Korea, but I grew up around the world, so like Russia and.
From what age?
It's hard to say.
Oh, you don't remember?
Yeah, I was born here, and I think I left right afterwards. But I lived in Russia for a good amount of years, and but primarily I've been living in the U.S. after I was adopted.
Okay, do you speak Russian?
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. Okay, but would you understand a few words, maybe? Not that I'm going to say anything, because I
yeah.
don't speak any.
Maybe
Russian.
like yes and thank you.
Okay.
That's
That's very interesting. Okay, and then later, do you remember at what age you were adopted, when you went to the States?
I think around 9 or 10.
Okay,
So,
right.
yeah.
So tell us about your earliest vivid memory of growing up in America.
Oh man, it was, I think, what every Korean person would dream it to be. I grew up in a suburban neighborhood. I had a backyard, I had a front lawn, running around.
But you didn't know that that was every Korean's dream when you were growing up. That was just...
I mean, I sure didn't. So I mean,
Sure.
looking back now, it seems like that. But when I got there, I mean, it was a dream. I think I was fortunate enough to go to Portland, Oregon. It's quite nice. A lot of nature, a lot of trees.
Right.
Very quiet, but also peaceful.
아, 그렇군요. 되돌아보니 보통 사람들이 꿈 같은 정원생활을 했다라고 하는 그런 곳에서 자랐지만 그 당시에는 그게 그냥 당연한 거였죠. 좀 충분히 이해할 수 있습니다. 어렸을 때 내가 남들보다 좋은 환경에서 사는지 안 좋은 환경에서 사는지 모르고 자라니까요. 근데 이제 어렸을 때 미국으로 입양을 되셔서 그 다음에는 굉장히 아름다운 집에서 뜰도 있고 뛰어다니면서 그렇게 자유롭게 자라신 게 제 생각에는 거기서 또 안목 같은 게 생긴 게 아닌가 싶어요. Don't you think you developed a sort of eye for nature and for seeing things by growing up in this natural environment?
Perhaps. I mean, I think the nature around me was very beautiful. But I mean, historically speaking, I think I grew up primarily pretty poor.
Okay.
But that being said, I mean, I was poor most of my life. But I was hung out with older people, so they were more inclined to pursue arts and had a taste for that, and so maybe that's where it rubbed off.
아, 어렸을 때부터 예술 쪽에 관련된 형 누나들이랑 많이 어울리고 그러다 보니까 알게 모르게 또 그런 예술적인 감각을 익히신 것 같다. 그럴 수 있겠네요, 정말. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that's that could have developed within you without you really knowing it. But as you said, it just happened. One day you were given a job,
Right.
and now you are a photographer that many people would like to hire.
Right.
So tell us about taking pictures. You know, what does that mean for you?
I think for me, about the work I do, I think it's about capturing. Comes down to a moment. I think when a person is walking or when a person is interacting with someone, it comes down to that capturing that moment and a time, and it kind of doubles up with what they're wearing. For me, that's really important. I really treasure time personally, so I think it kind of goes in hand in terms of what that means to me, that captured image.
아, 원래 이제 시간의 귀중함에 대해서 늘 생각해 왔던 게 있기 때문에 사진을 찍을 때 그 시간, 그 순간을 한 장의 사진에 담는다라는 마음으로 최대한 아름답게 예쁘게 찍는 것 같네요. 그러면은 사진 찍을 때 이렇게 내추럴한 포즈를 더 좋아하세요? 아니면은 이렇게 인공적인 artificial pose를 더 좋아하세요? 어떤 걸 좋아하세요?
I think I lean more towards natural, so I prefer if they don't know I'm there.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of hard because I'm super tall and I stand out. But I mean, from time to time, I think artificial poses are nice because you can kind of direct.
Sure.
You can kind of set the tone and mood. But
It's not very time efficient though, is it? It
No.
takes a long time.
And these people, I mean, they're doing their jobs.
네.
They don't have a lot of time. So honestly, it's more convenient for them and myself if it's more natural.
아, 원래도 이제 자연스러운 사진 찍는 걸 좋아하는 데다가 모델이라든지 패션쇼 참가자들은 서서 포즈 취할 시간도 없기 때문에 잘 들어맞는군요. 그냥 자연스럽게 하는 거 하도록 놔두고 또 이제 폴정 씨는 그 순간순간을 아름답게 사진을 찍는 그런 작업을 하고 계십니다. 정말 멋진 것 같아요. I have a huge admiration for photographers in general because I feel like it would be so easy, but every time I take a picture, it doesn't quite turn out the way I would like it to. And what do you focus on? Is it the light, the person, or just a combination of many different things?
Light is like everything.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
light is huge. If you have an overblown out image, so if it's like super white, I mean, you can't turn that back. So the impact light has on a photo, I think, is huge. Because, I mean, in the time of the day as well.
Right.
Whether it's blue hour in the morning or the golden hour towards the evening. But also, I look at composition a lot.
Right.
I think composition plays an impact on how a person who's looking at your image could feel and interpret the image.
사진 찍을 때 일단 제일 중요한 거는 아무래도 빛이죠. 그 자연 빛이든 인공 빛이든 조명, 빛. 그 다음으로 보는 게 사진의 구도라든지 구성, 누가 어디에 어떤 비율로 어떻게 있는지 이런 전체적인 구성을 살펴본 다음에 이제 그 순간을 탁 포착을 하는 겁니다. On average, how many pictures do you think you take per day when you go to these fashion events?
The major fashion week, easily 3,000 to 5,000.
와, 패션 위크에 가서는 하루에 3,000장에서 5,000장의 사진을 찍으세요? And then how many do you use of those?
I think that entirely depends on how many clients I have going into that. But I mean, typically hundreds.
와우. 클라이언트만 해도 수백 명이 된다고요? 맞으면 이제. 오케이. 자, 그런데 이제 좀 아마추어 사진 작가, 저 같은 잘 모르는 사람들을 위해서 팁을 좀 주시겠어요? Could you tell us what makes a good composition? Something really basic and easy for, a layman like me.
I think the angle in which you shoot could play a really big role on how the person looks.
Okay.
So for me, I'm tall, so just by my normal pose, I look down on my angles, like my vision is like downward. So, but I find myself having to shoot up more, so I have to physically crouch. So I feel like that makes people look more aesthetically beautiful in some ways, because people have this tendency to associate long or tall with beauty. So that could be nice.
그러니까 각도가 굉장히 중요한데 홀정 씨는 키가 굉장히 크기 때문에 일부러 이렇게 좀 뭐라 그럴까요? 구부려 앉아서 자세를 낮춰가지고 모델들을 찍는 편이다. 그래야 좀 더 길어 보이고 커 보이고 예뻐 보인다라는 건데요. 근데 반대로 왜 위에서 찍어가지고 얼짱 각도라는 거 혹시 들어보셨어요? Have you heard of the 얼짱 angle? You take it from above, like really, really high up.
Right.
요건 어때요?
I think I haven't done many of them, but if it's a wide enough, or if it's a long enough distance or a wide enough angle, I do shoot from top down.
Okay.
It does.
Especially if it's just the face, right?
Exactly. I mean, I typically shoot either head on or from the side because I think it creates a different image. But I think definitely top down can create a desirable image as well.
어디를 찍느냐에 따라서 얼굴만 찍을 때는 당연히 위에서 찍는 게 좋죠. 그 연예인들도 그렇고 가끔 보면은 소셜 미디어에 같은 시간에 위에서 찍은 사진, 아래서 찍은 사진 이렇게 비교해가지고 올려놓은 것들이 있거든요. 그거 보면 정말 재밌어요. You can have such different pictures depending on which angle you take these pictures from. And,
Right,
you know,
right.
selfies can look like you've added 10 pounds, lost 10 pounds within seconds.
Exactly.
Right? So angle is important, everyone. 각도가 또 굉장히 중요하다고 합니다. 근데 제일 중요한 거는 아무래도 빛이라고 말씀을 해주셨어요 처음부터.
Completely light.
빛이 없을 때는 다른 사람의 전화기로 조명을 비춰서 빛을 만드는 건 어떤가요?
It depends on the show, the person, or the subject, and what my client needs. But if it needs to happen, it must happen.
전문가들도 필요에 따라서는 뭐 이렇게 다른 사람 전화기를 쓰기도 하고 그래요?
Any means necessary.
아마추어만 그런 게 아니군요. 알겠습니다. Alright. Well, I feel like I know a lot more when it comes to taking good pictures now, just with those little tips there. Okay, well, we'll take another song break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about your life and your future plans as well. This is Jessie J, Price Tag. You're listening to Morning Special. This is Morning Date, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Paul Jeong, renowned fashion photographer. Now, earlier on, we mentioned how you suddenly became a fashion photographer, but during the song break, you mentioned that you really want to give a shout out to the people who came before you and those that paved the way ahead of time.
Right. So their names are Adam, Phil, Tyler, Robbie. The Korean ones are, I think his name is Nam and Koo. Those are the two big ones.
지금 얘기해 주신 분들은 이제 앞서서 이 분야에서 좀 길을 튼 그런 분들입니다. 그분들 덕분에 내가 여기 있다라고 아까 음악 나가는 동안에 설명을 해주셨어요. Have you met them? Did you work with them, or how did that? What happened?
I think I've met everyone
Okay.
but the Koreans.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you keep in touch? Are you good friends? How does that?
I think I'm pretty good friends with Adam, Robbie, and Tyler. Phil, we talk casually
Right.
from time to time, but
Yeah. And would you say they are your role models?
I definitely look up to them, and I do get advice from them. I think because they also understand that I just started, they don't want me making the same mistakes that they potentially have in the past.
Right.
So.
계속 저는 이제 느끼는 게 굉장히 겸손하세요. 네, 시작한 지 1년밖에 안 됐다라고 하시지만 또 그 1년이라는 이 단기간 안에 이룬 것으로 봤을 때는 굉장히 많은 것을 이루셨고 이 분야에서 큰 지금 역할을 하고 계십니다. 그래서 앞으로는 더 많은 또 일을 하시겠죠. 가장 임팩트 있었던 스트리트 패션 포토가 있다면은 could you pick maybe a couple of pictures that come to mind?
Specifically, I think there was a musician called A$AP Rocky. He's actually an American-born rapper,
Okay.
but I think growing up I drew a lot of inspiration from his work. So when I was physically able to see him and take a picture of him in the way that I desired, like that was huge for me.
Wow.
I mean, same with Tom York when I saw him in Paris. And Tilda Swinton.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was huge. She was huge.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
평소에 존경했던 래퍼 또 배우 이런 사람들을 직접 만나고 그 사진 그분들의 사진을 찍고 그랬을 때 이제 정말 좀 감동도 받고 그랬을 것 같아요. Were you nervous?
I was nervous, but I think I get in the zone when I'm shooting,
Yeah.
so I'm quite I try to be as professional as possible, but also that means I do what I need to do and I get out. So as to not bother them.
네, 정말 프로 같다라는 생각을 제가 아까부터도 했던 게 일을 맡았는데 나 이거 못해라는 생각은 전혀 안 하시는 것 같아요. 네, 일을 맡았으면 나는 이걸 끝까지 최선을 다해서 어떻게 해서든지 잘 해내겠다 이런 굉장히 강한 의지가 있으신 걸로 저는 그렇게 보여지는데 그래서 또 이런 멋진 작품을 찍으시는 게 아닌가 싶습니다. 유명한 배우와 뭐 래퍼, 가수 이런 분들을 만나면서도 개인적으로는 팬으로서는 떨렸지만 그래도 가서는 그냥 내가 사진작가니까 담담하게 또 일을 하시고 그랬다고 하니까 굉장히 멋있습니다. 나중에 사진 한 장 같이 찍으셨나요? Did you take some pictures together with them as well?
No, not ASAP.
No.
Tilda almost, but I think the mob was so huge that at one point, I mean, I even heard the manager saying like, "Do you guys have enough?" And I knew. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, people need to just respect, other people's.
그럴 시간이 없군요. 워낙 분주한 분위기고 그래서.
But they're also people too. So.
Sure, absolutely. The closest I've ever gotten to a fashion event of any sort was a pageant competition, not one that I entered, obviously, but I translated and interpreted for one many, many years ago. But I realized that it's so hectic behind the scenes. On stage, everyone's so graceful and they walk slowly, smile and all of that. But behind, it's just chaos and mayhem, people running around, screaming, crying. Is it like that at Fashion Week?
I've definitely seen a lot of people crying.
Yeah.
The tension for the pursuit of perfection, it's huge. I mean, it almost feels like how a bride and a groom would feel maybe at a wedding. I would feel.
But over and over again.
Exactly, and the time that you have to, complete this it's tight. It's limited. It's finite. So the pressure's on. So.
그 전문적인 이 패션 위크에서도 그런 분위기가 좀 있군요. 저는 굉장히 오래됐어요. 한 20년 정도 된 것 같은데 아주 오래전에 그 미인 대회 뭐 그런 거가 있었는데 거기서 통역을 했거든요. 근데 뒤에서 너무 많은 이 아름다운 미인들이 우는 모습을 제가 보면서 마음 아팠던 기억이 납니다. 구두가 너무 발이 아파, 뭐 옷이 너무 불편해 이렇게 얘기하고 그 울면서 그 다음에 이제 큐 들어와 이렇게 그 사인이 내려지면은 또 다시 눈물 닦고 예쁘게 웃으면서 우아하게 이렇게 걷는 모습에 굉장히 짠했던 기억이 나고 나는 180cm가 아니어서 다행이야 라는 생각도 들었던 기억이 좀 나거든요. 근데 패션 위크도 좀 그런 게 있군요. 알겠습니다. Well, going back to you though, in terms of your future goals, personal goals, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years I would like to be in the industry, but if I'm not, I wouldn't hate it. I think my life, even this period of my life, it's all about development. It's all about progress. Progress is super important for me. So if progress leads me to a career that I've visited in the past or want to visit in the future, I'm more than happy. I've thought about revisiting finance or dentistry, or even just getting a commercial pilot license. I don't know.
와우, 굉장히 멋진 대답인 것 같습니다. 10년 후에 10년 후 미래 어떻게 내다보시나요? 라고 제가 질문을 했더니 지금보다 조금 더 성장해 있는 모습에 나. 굉장히 멋진 대답입니다. 어떤 분야에 있든지 상관없다. Well, maybe you'll be doing all of those things and more. Who knows? Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. That was lovely.
So much.
And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
네, 오늘 폴정 씨 만나봤습니다. 사진작가로서 이제 막 시작을 하고 있지만 또 굉장히 유명세를 달리고 있는 대단하신 분이고요. 앞으로 성장하는 모습 저희도 많이 지켜보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 노래 듣고 폴정 씨 보내드리도록 할게요. This is Ed Sheeran. It's a song just for you actually. Photograph.